Hi everyone, it's Chris Natsky with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week live here on Facebook. You know, I was getting ready this week. I was taking a look at what I wanted to create over the next year in 2019, thinking about what my vision was for the upcoming year. Hi Rachel, good to see you. And I came across this great quote from Joel Barker, and it went something like this. He said, "Vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision just passes time, and vision with action can change the world." And it really got me thinking, what were the visions that I really have for my life, and what do I want to create? And I really think that each one of us actually has these amazingly powerful visions inside of ourselves that are wanting to come forward. And just think about the back of the time when we were kids. I mean, the imagination that we had, everything was possible. And I know that I had a whole series of careers I wanted to be. I wanted to be a cartoonist. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a superhero. Actually, I was Batman when I was 5. That's a whole other story. But the fact of the matter is we have all these dreams. But what happens, unfortunately, over time is we start to push those down. We start to see as we take a look at what is really real and what can I really achieve. And that is just something, a limitation we have in our mind. You know, for me, outside of all these other careers that I just shared with you, the one thing I always knew I wanted to do, hi Troy, good to see you, is I wanted to be a martial arts instructor. In fact, back when I was in the 5th grade, 11 years old, we got an assignment to create an autobiography. And like any other 11-year-old would do, and I actually still have it somewhere in my files, but I wrote when I was 1 year old, I had my first birthday party and my first birthday cake that I put on my head. When I was 5 years old, I went to Disneyland and the Grand Canyon. But then on page 2, I said, when I was 10 years old, I started Taekwondo. I am now a blue belt, and one day I'm going to open up my own school. That's when I was 11 years old. So that vision was already there. And thank God that I acted on that. But the thing of it is it almost never happened because the fear and the anxiety and the doubt that came forward. In fact, literally weeks before we were going to open, I almost shut the whole thing down. I almost said this whole thing is not going to happen because all my fear came up about taking this leap. And I wonder if there's something out there that you've had happen as well. So it got me thinking about how I've been able to work through that myself, and also as I work with clients throughout the years, how I'm able to help them really lean into their visions. So I came up with a couple steps here that I want to share with you, and I think it's particularly appropriate as we're looking at 2019 right around the corner. That's right, it's only about 4 weeks away. And what are the ways that you can process to make sure that you're ready to make this next year awesome and really live into your visions? So the first one that I want to share with you is getting really clear about what you want. I think sometimes we really limit ourselves. We say, well, I can have this, but not too much, right? But hey, if you're gonna fantasize, you might as well win, right? So what is it out there that you really want? What's the vision that you have for your life, your business, your relationships, your families? And think big. Think big, because oftentimes when we think big, it's even bigger than we can think. So that's number one. Number 2 is get clear about what your big why is. Now, what do I mean by that? Hi, Tom. Good to see you. What's your big why? Well, there's an author named Simon Sinek. He's one of my favorites, and he has a book called The Power of Why, or Start with Why, I think is what it's called. And he says that most of us are really good at saying what we do, and we're also really good at how we do it, but we're not really good on why. And why becomes an energy for us. One of the things Sinek shares, he says Martin Luther King in 1963 wasn't in front of the Mall of the United States during the civil rights, right before his I Have a Dream speech. He wasn't out there saying, I have a plan. He was talking about a dream, and that inspired. And when you're inspired by your why, others will as well. And I'll tell you what, when things get tough, that's what's going to carry you through, is what your why is. Number 3 is, what is the impact if you don't go for your vision? I normally don't like to focus on the negative, but think about this. Put yourself in a place, if I don't go for it, what's going to happen? What is my life going to be like? Because Tony Robbins says we're either impacted, we're motivated by pain or by pleasure, and sometimes dipping into, hey man, if I don't take this risk, if I don't go for it, this is the downside. Number 4, don't be afraid to ask for help. I'll tell you what, I have found that when we get clear on what we want and we really start going for our vision and we start asking for help, the universe opens up for us. People out there with wisdom, experience, etc., will literally be falling over themselves to help you out. I know for me, I've been on the side of both of those. I've been on the side of being a mentor and being a mentee. And man, when your life's good and you've accomplished something, you want to share it with others. And when you ask for help, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. And then finally, to do some reflection inside. And it's basically these three questions. It's about, first, how do I need to be if this is going to happen in my life? Now, what do I have to do? But start with who you need to become. Do you need to be courageous, proactive? Do you need to, be more observant, more patient with yourself? What are the ways that you need to be in order for this vision to come true in your life? Second of all, what do you need to do? And that doesn't need to be some grand action. It can be just small steps done, slowly and consistently over time, because those lead to great big results. And then finally, what will you have? Get in that place of as if you already have it. Live from there. Be that way. And act as if. Because here's the secret, my friends. This is what I found. Our dreams, our visions, they don't come to us. They come through us. So there you have it. What is your vision for this year upcoming? What's your vision for your life? What's the big thing that you've got that you really want to step into? And do you have the courage to do it? Is it going to be something that you do finally this year, or is it going to be just a dream that you let fade away? So thanks so much for listening, everyone. Great to have you here. Hey, if you're interested, I do have a special you'll see at the bottom, which is a strategic planning session for 2019. So if you really want to get into those dreams and visions, I'd love to help you through it. And we'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.